Okay, so this is their first CAMS. This CAMS is for Tai Chi for OT. Here's our lecture questions. There is a video, if you go to the last slide, towards the end, I can walk you through all these different forms, these Tai Chi forms. Obviously, we're in person, we're doing these. It's a sunset breath, embracing the moon, cannon, and bow and arrow. Okay, brief history of Tai Chi. It's been around forever. Started out as a self-defense kind of system for rural farmers, kind of a soft self-defense. What I mean by that is kind of the opposite of the hard. Karate is more hard, attacking. Tai Chi is more soft, kind of using the person's energy against them. So they're coming towards you, kind of step aside versus whacking them in the face, so to speak. Quan family, a famous family, kind of started a lot of these offshoots. Tai Chi, Quan styles, what we're going to be using today. Hundreds of different forms of Tai Chi. When somebody says they do Tai Chi, they probably mastered some forms. Probably would take a lifetime to master all the forms. Very, very popular. Third most popular exercise in the world. There's walking, there's biking, and then there's Tai Chi. Obviously, it's very popular in Asia and getting more popular here. Believed health benefits of Tai Chi. Kind of like what we're talking with the CAMS. It's the Eastern approach. It's a different way of looking at disease and medicine. They say they feel when you're sick, it's more of an energy imbalance. It's not so much you have a bacteria attacking your body as you have an energy imbalance. You've lost the homeostasis of your body, your balance of your body. And Tai Chi kind of restores that energy, that chi. Gets you back to where you are. An example, let's say you have high blood pressure. If you do Tai Chi, you're doing effectively, consistently, evidence clearly shows you will lower your blood pressure. If you have normal blood pressure and you do Tai Chi, you won't end up with too low of blood pressure. It just won't do anything. It just brings you back to that normal state. Another example, I got into Tai Chi when I was very sick with Lyme disease. For a 5-year period, I was kind of battling it through different stages. And the Tai Chi gave me more energy. It kind of helped me feel almost normal or close to normal. It didn't last, but it would kind of give me a sense of normal for a few hours, so I could do it during the day to get the energy I needed to get through the work day. But now I do Tai Chi. It's kind of like for other reasons. I don't get that same kind of boost from it because I'm not sick anymore. I'm already at homeostasis. It helps probably maintain it, but it doesn't, give me that big boost that I needed before. Tons of research supporting Tai Chi, different kinds of things around. We talked about stress and blood pressure. Definitely balance is the big thing we're going to look at today, bone health. This is the key thing that therapists, OTs, and PTs really love about Tai Chi. It's great for improving balance, reducing fall risk, and it's easy to do. It's very soft and simple, easy on the body. So this is ideal for older folks versus doing, kind of a aggressive kind of Pilates or more strenuous yoga kind of stretch. Don't need to get into all these, but again, it's just overwhelming. There's way more research showing that Tai Chi improves balance, reduces fall risk than any other exercise. So the gold standard and Medicare and all the insurances believe this. For improving your balance, reducing your fall risk is Tai Chi. Why is it so effective? Let's kind of look at what balance is first before we kind of get into why it's so effective. What is balance? It's kind of keeping your center of mass of your base of support as you kind of move around. It's very much an integrative system. What I mean by that, it's as I stand here, there's certain key systems that are holding me up. keeping my balance. Obvious one you think about is your core muscles that have that degree of tone, your bone structure, holding me up. Definitely a big one. Other systems, sensation. I feel the floor under my feet. That tactile sensation. Vision. I see the world and I can judge where things are so I don't run into things. And another key system is the vestibular system. Balance. Keeps your head, the fluid in your ears. I think we've talked about that a little bit. They don't work in isolation. The brain works everything all the time at once. So to really work on balance, you need to kind of force all these systems to work at once, kind of like they're doing here, and she's doing with this kiddo there. It's an integrated, dynamic, full body thing. It's not just the lower body or the upper body, it's the whole body. Looking at those systems we talked about. Vestibular, think head movement. Every time you move your head, you're getting that fluid in your canals going. So think about that. The sensory, that's the obvious one. The vision, feeling the floor. The range of motion and that strength we talked about. Range of motion is especially key in your hips and ankles. You lose this as you get older. It's kind of how you keep yourself upright. You lose your balance. Stepping strategies, catching yourself. We have talked a little about this in human movement. We'll keep talking about it until it kind of becomes more second nature. What's a stepping strategy? We'll get into that. Weight shifting, shifting your weight back and forth. Here's a great example of weight shifting as he hits the golf bar. It goes from he really shifts the weight onto his right hip as he's coming out. Think of a hula dancing. It's a great example of weight shifting. This is lost a lot with older folks. Core integrated. Again, it's upper lower body. It's very dynamic. A lot of proprioception and kinesthesia involved. Your awareness of your body in space. This is one of the first things you kind of lose when you're in bed for a long period of time. I was just reading, doing this webinar on COVID long haulers. It's a newer thing OTs are seeing a lot more in the hospital and the community. You're in bed for long periods of time. If you're on a vent, and you're on a vent for weeks at a time, you come off the vent, a lot of different systems are impaired. Balance-wise, your proprioception is off. Your balance is off. So therapists are focusing on doing proprioceptive kind of activities, balance kind of activities, Tai Chi, one-legged standing, that sort of thing, to kind of get the person's proprioception back. Comparing these different things with isolated exercises. We talked about how balance is very integrated, all these systems at once. So we have the knee. If I kind of sit here and I do knee flexion extension. Knee flexion extension, ankle raises. Hip abduction. A lot of times they're hanging on to the counter as they do that. Very isolated kind of movements. They isolate joints and muscles, which are important, but they're not really working on balance because it's not integrative. Compare that to how we really do things. So let's think of this person just watering the plants. The weight shifting, the vestibular, the core, all this stuff that goes on with just this one activity, probably more so than these exercises. Let me getting back at that question. Why Tai Chi? Why is it so effective? It's integrative. It's all of the systems at once. So it's truly working on balance, reducing fall risk. This chart helps you kind of think about it. These are some of the ones we'll do. Functional stuff, real world stuff, sweeping, vacuuming, walking the dog, making the bed, unloading the dishwasher. It involves all the different systems that we've been talking about. Tai Chi, the swimming one, hits all these systems. You'll see how it's working all these different systems. Or these basic kind of exercises, not so much. They're isolating, they're very limiting. Not truly working on balance. This is working on balance. This is working on balance. Okay, so let's try some more. This is the bow stance. Bow stance. Do the wheel, swimming. gathering energy, polishing the table. Questions to kind of ponder. Why is so good at bone density? Your weight bearing, how much he's weight bearing. Why does it reduce stress? Lowers blood pressure. It's a form of meditation. It's almost a slow meditation. It's almost how slow can you do it? It's like a dance kind of thing. Why does it improve cardiopulmonary? You're up moving. There's a lot of diaphragmatic components to it that we're going to be doing. Doing class. Why does Tai Chi work so well with adults? It's low impact, easy to do. OT applications. There's really no ruling Tai Chi body specific certification. What a lot of OTs do is they get certified through the Paul Lamb School of Tai Chi. I've done that. To me, even better as you go to a Tai Chi conference that's run by a PT or an OT. I've done lots of those, and I found those to be a lot more beneficial because they make it a lot more targeted towards our patient needs and diagnosis and problems. But the Paul Lamb thing is kind of the accepted certification if you want to do that. Billing, you could bill as Tai Chi because Medicare knows how effective it is, but usually as OTs, we're thinking within those categories like neuromuscular re-education, therapeutic exercise. Definitely does that. It's also a part of ADL. We'll look at it, how it's kind of working on different kinds of ADL tasks through different movements. Break functional tasks down into components through activity analysis. We're kind of going to do that in the class today. Okay, here's some more. These are the balance components. This is a cool key slide here. I'll tell you what these things work on. Somebody has these kinds of occupational, if you do activity analysis, and so this is the occupation they want to be able to do. These are the parts of the occupation. This will help with like anxiety, shortness of breath, range of motion, core, posture, and it breaks it down. I'm not going to go into it for each one of these movements. And this is something you can rely on when you're kind of trying to do your cases today. And definitely think about this, go back to this. If you see some cases when you're doing your clinicals, not this summer, but the next summer, I've had students email me, oh, where's all the Tai Chi stuff? And they've kind of lost it. I don't mind sending it to you. Because you may want to use it. You may think, client, oh, this is the perfect thing to do with this client. I want to know which forms to use, which movements to use. It's all kind of here. Grading it. Don't overthink grading it. It's making it easier to harder. It's not rocket science. Obviously, it's easier to do Tai Chi sitting versus standing. Less weight shift. That sort of thing. More support. So they're seated doing it, standing, hanging on with two hands, standing, hanging on with one hand, that sort of thing. These are the cases. You need to do the cases, the goals, the movements, the balance components. Go back to that slide. Best fit with Tai Chi. Which one would you use and why? How are you going to grade it? And some activities. And don't get too caught up in looking for the perfect answer. A lot of these are going to be kind of grayish. They're going to blur one into the other. Pick the best that you can think of that works the best in your mind. Here's the video showing your lovely professor doing the Tai Chi stuff. All right, that is that.